Why Media Group? The fastest growing media group in North America.
Hello everyone, my name is Yudhir Jaswal. I'm the group editor at Why Media, and today we have a very special guest. We are going to talk about his journey and how, whether you're in any sort of business, how you can benefit from that. The CEO of Bhive, Vikram Khurana. Sir, a very warm welcome on Why Media.
Thank you for having me, and it's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, sir. The pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much for your time. First things first, before we talk about Bhive, before we talk about, how we can be a successful business person, I want to know your journey. When did you come to Canada? Tell us something about your journey.
I came to Canada in 1990 as an international student and landed in Halifax, Nova Scotia. From there, I was already an undergrad in engineering, did my MBA at St. Mary's University. After that, I moved to TD Bank like a good MBA. From there, the bank posted me in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Moved after that to Alberta. Before Alberta had lots of oil, and worked in tech space there. And then finally moved to Toronto in 1999, and I have been in startups since.
Wow, quite a journey. Bankers and engineers, they really do well, but you have a combination of both, which is good. And you launched Bhive. Why would you do that? What inspired you to do this?
When I was on the phone with a very old friend that was 1 year my senior at MBA school in Halifax, I was trying to get a lay of the land. What should I bring? What should I be prepared for? And what would be my anticipated journey like? This senior from school, his name was Anthony Subaya, he's passed away since, told me two things. Number one, the weather and the climate and the environment is such that you never feel tired. And number two, that Canada is the land of opportunity. Doesn't matter what you want to start, you can be successful at it if you do things right. And so one goes in hand with the other. If you never feel tired and you have boundless energy and you have the ability to do anything that you ever wanted and be successful, those are the two things that stood out at me.
Great. I want you to emphasize a little bit more on this. I'm sure this aligns well with Bhive, and this has really resonated with me. I was doing pretty well in India, but when I came here, the point that you just made, Canada is a land of opportunities. There are many who would be planning their businesses or who are in the initial stage of their business, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. They want to listen more. Why would we say Canada is a land of opportunities?
In many societies around the world, smartness, education, aptitude, and hard work is not directly proportional to your results. There are lots of gifted people in very war-torn places like Gaza and Sudan and Russia, Ukraine, and so many other places, but they just don't have the opportunity to be able to exercise that intellect. There are many people that have lots of great education, but there are barriers to their success. And the reason why Canada is so distinct is that there is everything is possible. If you're educated, the sky is your limit. And if you're uneducated, sky is still your limit. And many of our successful immigrants from various communities have shown that there is no connection between speaking great English and being very successful. It is a very equal playing field in whichever industry you want to do. The only thing that we bring is hard work. We have the ability to work hard as immigrant entrepreneurs. And I often quote this venture capital firm out of Boston called One Way Ventures. And their whole thesis is that they fund immigrant entrepreneurs because immigrant entrepreneurs come on one-way tickets. They're either going to succeed or they'll try again and again till they succeed.
I know you've been in this business and your own journey is very inspiring. What is one common trait that you see in immigrants or those who have made it big in business, that this is a common trait, whether it was hard work or intelligence or any one thing that you really want to emphasize? Some people, I was reading a quote this morning, as you also mentioned a quote earlier. I was reading a quote this morning from Warren Buffett. I'm not sure whether it was just his picture or they attributed it to him. So he said, if you want to be successful, 50% is hard work, then there's this much is 20% discipline, then consistency, then of course there's 5% smart work as well. But I want you to mention one distinct feature that this is a must if you really want to make it big.
I think it's perseverance.
Okay.
And the reason why I say perseverance is many entrepreneurs don't succeed on the first go.
Okay.
And many of them try second time, third time. And if you look at different examples in the Canadian ecosystem on wealthy individuals, many of them made their wealth after they were 50 years or more.
Okay.
It's a misnomer that there's an age for entrepreneurship. And the perseverance characteristics in a person's abilities is that they are able to hone their skills over time. They're able to gather valuable experiences over time and then finally be able to apply them. And maybe the circumstances aren't right, but they learn from that and then they keep applying till they succeed.
I couldn't agree more. Very good point, perseverance. That's very important. Thank you so much for that. Now let's talk about Bhive. Just for the benefit of the audience who do not know much about Bhive, what is Bhive? What makes it so unique?
Bhive is the vision of Mayor Patrick Brown and the Council of City of Brampton. Because Brampton is internationally known as the city of entrepreneurs and city of immigrants, there was a missing link between connecting entrepreneurship, creating tools for it in the city of Brampton. That's why Bhive was created by the city of Brampton. And we were brought in with a mandate to help as many of our community members as possible to become entrepreneurs. They could come as international students, they could come as international workers, they could come from any country around the world, and we would be the first port of call if they wanted to be entrepreneurs, whether that was the first step that they took in Canada or whether that was after 10 or 15 years journey in Canada. So we have a mandate to be relevant to as many entrepreneurs, whether they are going to take the step immediately or later on in life, to be a resource for them, to provide all the knowledge, the do's and don'ts, and the wherewithal to be able to operationalize businesses.
Great. This is a great idea. And I'll also like to share that yes, I've been to Bhive myself. I've toured all your offices. Great idea. I've been to your events as well. As a matter of fact, I was one of the speakers there recently. Had great time in connecting. And this is a great resource. I must tell you, this is a great resource that we can all utilize. And tell us a little bit more if there are people who already, is this only for new immigrants or someone who started a business already or someone who's planning to do? What are the different tools available at Bhive?
So Bhive is located at 8 Nelson Street West, which is 1 block north of the City Hall. And we are part of the Innovation District. The Innovation District is bringing knowledge, capital, and real experience together to be able to help entrepreneurs. And what we focus is on the international entrepreneur. The objective is to help them identify barriers, identify risks, and then mitigate the risks and overcome the barriers. I'll give you small examples. We have Mr. Dayal Pablaji, who is from Barar Sweets. And he came as an immigrant and decided to start it into a food business. And he had a number of challenges before he could be successful. And the last challenge he mentions is that of speaking extremely good English. And now he's got a CEO, Kiran Man, who you had a chance to say hello to. And Kiranji is providing not only the next layer of management experience to scale that business, but she was instrumental in being a right hand to Mr. Pabla. And Mr. Pabla could then look at meeting other such individuals who were influential in his business. And so people like us, like Bhive, help with those introductions.
Great. And you mentioned Pabla, sir. Of course, a great guy. He's running a very successful business, and I have highest regard for the Al Pabla Sahab. And also, thanks for introducing to Kiran Maan. She's the CEO there. Amazing individual. I'll listen to her as well. But when you mentioned the challenge, of course, when people come to you, we're planning to do some business, and they want to discuss things at Bhive. So, can you list a few challenges which usually new immigrants face here when they're starting up some business?
So I think the first challenge they face is with the business idea. And the business idea needs to be vetted out, researched, and thereby a business plan needs to be created that is realistic. It's not a funding exercise that you take to the bank and you try to convince a banker. You have to convince yourself first. And in order to do that, you have to feel very comfortable that you talk to every relevant person, research every possible industry report, researched every possible subject matter in that thing, and talk to the expertise that's available. And then finally, right provisioned it with capital so that you're not going to run out of capital while you're in the launch stage. And so these are the type of things that Bhive does for individuals when they're wanting to start a business. And what we pride ourselves in is following the footsteps of many successful Brampton entrepreneurs that have come and shown the way and become luminaries now, are giving back to our hospitals, to our charities, and leaving a legacy and creating a inspirational mecca for people to be able to go and to be able to aspire to be.
Great. And if there was one advice that you would want to give over here, I know one size doesn't fit all. Obviously, there are custom-made solutions, and when they, I'm sure when they will come to Bhive, they can explain their challenges. You can discuss ideas. But if there was one advice that you want to give for all those who are watching this program right now from Bhive or your personal experience, what would that be? Just one.
So if you look at the three most important people in an entrepreneur's life, they are usually the lawyer, the accountant, and the banker.
Okay.
But if you look at our business community, you won't find many people from those skill sets being large entrepreneurs. And the reason for that is that entrepreneurs are very different. Entrepreneurs are risk takers. Entrepreneurs are visionaries. Entrepreneurs are people that know that the total addressable market size of their product or service may be zero. It is starting something new like Uber or Airbnb or Google. When these people started, the whole market was zero. For that, nobody knew about Google. And if somebody had told them that by starting an Uber, you're going to displace a very traditional industry like taxis, people would have laughed. But they have the tenacity, they have the risk-taking ability, they have the ability to be visionaries that something so disruptive is going to be successful. So my advice to people that want to start a business is don't be worried what other people will think, whether there is a market for this or not. The key is research. Key is belief based on facts and based on solid business analysis. Do that, and rest of the things will fall into place. You can get good advisors, you can get capital, you can get enablers that will help you along in your journey. But that first risk-taking ability and that appetite, entrepreneurial appetite, is very important. If you recall, entrepreneurship was not a topic in school when we were in school or university or colleges or in postgraduate education. And since then, entrepreneurship is now a topic in all of these areas. You can go to a community college and learn about entrepreneurship because there are certain basics that will bring you up to speed to do that research, to be able to understand and scope and be able to understand the implementation risks. But beyond that, the idea is that of the entrepreneur.
Very good, very well said. You're right, I mean, belief is very important. Follow your instinct, follow your belief. As Vikramji has already mentioned, yes, people could question that, but if you believe, if you can follow your instinct. But another point that you've highlighted very well, and I'm sure Bhive can be instrumental in that, that yes, do your research. There are resources available. So as much as we would follow our instinct, we'll follow our passion, we believe in something, very passionately, but there's no harm in getting some research, getting a second opinion, exchanging those ideas, and Bhive would help you for that. Brampton Next campaign, what is this all about?
Brampton Next is seeking to help 100 small business people in setting up by either buying a business or by establishing a business in the city of Brampton. And this program is looking to help newcomers get settlement support, language support, immigration support, and last but not the least, all the business supports to be able to be successful in a very short period of time. The objective of this program is to remove all impediments and roadblocks in front of an international entrepreneur or newcomer entrepreneur who has started a side gig business, or they have started a very small business, to be able to scale, to be able to identify the right business idea, to be able to establish the risk parameters, raise capital, and deploy their business idea. Brampton Next seeks to bring our whole community of luminaries, people that have been very successful, like yourself,
Thank you.
and like many of the other well-established businesses that were started in the city of Brampton and now have grown to international proportions. People like that. It's bringing mentors who are looking to give back. They have retired, they have become successful, and so on. And it is also looking to bring subject matter expertise, which will help them with the business idea in a very specific format, so that it's not general knowledge, it's very specific knowledge. So if they're in the food business, we have Kiran Manji giving them advice, and a 1 hour advice on don't do that, that won't work, can save an entrepreneur's life savings. Or have you thought of the following idea? Those kind of very practical advice will help these entrepreneurs, and that's what Brampton Next is all about.
Great, and I'm sure you're so successful yourself, and you're doing this for a great community cause as well. But I'm sure there must be some vision. You were mentioning earlier as well that yes, anyone who comes here to Canada, you want to attract that, okay, here's a place where I can go seek advice, exchange my ideas, and my growth in business as an entrepreneur would be supported. What is your vision for Bhive on that front?
So entrepreneurs are of various backgrounds.
Right.
And while there are lots of organizations that support entrepreneurs that were born here or that had a smoother way to entrepreneurship, there are many entrepreneurs that are international entrepreneurs that need different type of supports. And so Bhive is looking to provide the international and newcomer entrepreneurs with the supports, such as business networks, for people that went to school here, people that grew up through universities, that had their first positions, have usually a network of people that also grows with them and is able to support and help them. For a newcomer, they're parachuting into a new environment. And in that new environment, they need to leapfrog and also come to par with other entrepreneurs, although they don't have the benefit of all those business contacts, the know-how, the association with such kind of an affinity and support. And so those are the type of things that Bhive wants to be providing to newcomer entrepreneurs. And since we are an international city in Brampton, where else could we start this except our home city?
Sure, it's my home city too.
Yes.
Since I moved to Canada, I've been living, in Brampton. What a great initiative! I must compliment at this point. This is a great initiative. And since you mentioned the city, I would want you to emphasize a little bit more. Broadly speaking, I'm sure Bhive, it's very important to have partnerships with city or municipalities or any other government levels or any other partnerships that you want to mention.
So this Brampton Next program, Brampton Bhive is funded by the city of Brampton, and it's a division of the Economic Development Department of the city of Brampton. Brampton Next is funded by Premier Doug Ford and Minister David Piccini and Ministry of Labor, Immigration, Trade and Skills Development, and through a pilot program that seeks to quickly integrate newcomers, help them realize their entrepreneurial visions, and if they are not going to be successful, prevent them from losing their life savings. The idea is to remove any kind of barriers to entry and inform, educate, and assist.
Great. Yeah, sorry, you were about to say something.
Yes. So through this funding, we are helping 100 entrepreneurs, and we have already reached 60, and these entrepreneurs are very promising, from high tech to food to infrastructure, and they're solving some real world problems which are innovation based. There is something disruptive, something intellectual property driven, and we hope to see the results of these in another 100 businesses added to our business community.
As much as you just mentioned, it's funded by the city and also funded by the province as well. I'm just curious to ask, with due respect, there could be someone watching this show and they would say, okay, great things for me from Bhive, great support from the municipal, provincial governments and other levels of government. Bhive seems like a great idea, but is there any cost, anybody who wants to access Bhive?
So there is no cost to access Bhive, and we are located on a city property. We are open for business. We have a very strong team that is very dedicated, and like rest of Canada, it's a very international team which understands the entrepreneur's journey across borders. And one of the objectives of our existence is that we are looking to find entrepreneurs that will create jobs. So they're job creators rather than job seekers. And when you're creating jobs, there's a lot more you need to know than just being a job seeker, because it may take you out of your comfort zone, out of your realm of your existing knowledge, and so on. So it is our objective to deliver this information not just in one go, but on an ongoing basis. And on that ongoing basis, we are proud to work with Brampton Board of Trade and a number of other benefactors who take entrepreneurs under their wing and then are able to bring the power of our community in helping them through their journey in entrepreneurship and being successful.
One more question, because you work with so many different partners. So the overall support, but before I ask you this, I just want to highlight this once again, a very important point. If you are planning any business, or you've already been in business for 2, 4, 5, 10 years, whatever it might be, and you want to exchange your ideas, get a second opinion, Bhive is your answer. They're here to help, no cost. Go there, talk to the team, and there are so many different resources available. They might be able to suggest you something which you will find very beneficial for you. Now to support Bhive, what sort of ecosystem would you think, say for instance, someone from the federal government, provincial, municipal, or anybody else, the community could come up, and I think the community would like to support an initiative like this. What sort of ecosystem would you like that this is an ecosystem or a support system I want for Bhive?
So Bhive is not only about newcomer entrepreneurs that are starting their first business. We are also about businesses that want to pivot.
Okay.
And it's no secret that large macroeconomic things happen to people. They may have been running a perfect business, but the market changed or the industry changed. It evolved over time, or it just stopped existing. And with AI coming, it could be even more efficient. And so all these kind of topics are also what we want to cover. And in order to be relevant to a lot of people, we have to be very wide in our scope of services. So obviously, movie makers who are currently using animation, and artists that are very gifted individuals are going to feel the impact of AI and AI generated video. In addition to this, there are autonomous vehicles, and quite a few members of our community are engaged in the logistics businesses, in trucking and so on. and these jobs will be fundamentally altered. In order to pivot as business owners, they have to see it coming. One of our jobs is to show people what's coming and help them pivot. So we encourage all business people to be part of the entrepreneurial exercise at Bhive and be engaged with us, and either to impart what they have known, their subject matter expertise, their experiences, talk about their track record, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and or to come and learn through interaction with other successful individuals. And we are very proud to say that many multi-millionaires give their time freely to entrepreneurs at Bhive.
Wow, this is great. Yes, and my last question would be, before I do that, I also want to ask you, and I'll draw parallels with cricket here. Sometimes you see a young fast bowler, maybe a teenager, they're bowling at very good speeds, and you say you have the potential of becoming a great fast bowler. For a batsman, sometimes you see, the hand-eye coordination is great. Even for a, pitcher in baseball, you see the strength is there. What would you say that if someone has this thing, and what does it take? You could be, running a business which is great, as you just mentioned, or really scale it up. So what is that one thing that you see, oh, this is that one thing you must have if you really want to make it big? What's that one thing?
That one thing is hunger.
Hunger, okay.
And if you are hungry for success, you will keep trying. And it can happen at the first go for you. It can happen at the fifth go for you. And everybody knows the story of Walt Disney.
Yeah.
And how many times he tried and it didn't work, and now he's a household legend. Similarly, there are many other individuals that talk about their successes, don't talk that much about their failures, till we bring them to talk specifically on that topic, and then they open up and talk about all the things that failure taught them. And so let's not be worried about failure, because failure is the best teacher.
Wow, great, thank you so much. And before I let you go, I want to ask you that, yes, in case our viewers, or all those who are in business or planning anything, or as you mentioned, you want to pivot, or you want to scale up or do anything when it concerns business. So how do they get involved? What is your suggestion? How do they can get involved with Bhive?
Bhive has an open door policy, and we are available by every major convenient channel. So please phone us, please email us, and we'd be delighted to have you come to see what we are all about, attend some of our sessions. We are publishing them online, and we have a complement of community managers that would love to talk to you about what you are doing and see how we can be helpful.
All right. Sir, thank you so much for your time today. And once again, we'd like to thank everyone who is supporting Bhive. This is a great cause, different levels of government, different individuals, business person who are donating their time and putting up all the efforts. But compliments to you, Vikram, Khurana, sir. You're leading from the front. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the best, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed today's discussion. That's all the time that we have. On the bottom of your screen, you'll find contacts for Bhive. Stay tuned with Y Media. Thank you.
Y Media Group, the fastest growing media group in North America.